this is a bellostomatid, better known as a toe biter. Females of most subfamilies lay their eggs on emergent vegetation, plants that stick out of the water. And the male stays and not only defends them with his raptorial forelimbs and venom-injecting proboscis,
I love them so much with their big, huge eyes and their dumb mouths. They're so
right
cute.
Which means that, but it does mean
he's such
that
a good dad. Dad of the year. They're so cute and
when
dumb.
When it comes to handleability, we give the toe biter a score of 3 out of 5. Which might sound crazy if you've seen this.
It's just as bad as I remembered.
Yeah, this guy is like a drama queen though. I don't know. I've been bit by a lot of the things he's been bit by. And get over it, honestly.
Of course, you know, it doesn't look to be any worse than a bullet ant sting.
Oh, it's stuck in my arm! It's stuck in my arm! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Oh my gosh!
Yo, can I actually talk about how much I hate the, like, institution of people on the internet making animals bite them? Like, stop doing that. First of all, it makes people more afraid of bugs and spiders, and people are already way too afraid of insects and spiders, but it makes people more afraid, and the only educational thing in those videos is how hard it is, better make robot bits bite us, is how hard it is to make those bugs bite you. Spiders don't want to bite you. Insects don't want to sting or bite you. They really don't. They don't want to waste their venom on you, and you're putting them in a really stressful situation. It's not nice to the bugs. It's not nice for their PR, and the people are faking how much it hurts. Like 9 times out of 10, people are like, oh, it hurts so much. And it's like, shut up. Oh my God, calm down. Like, I have been bitten by a lot of bugs, and it is not as bad as any of the people whose channels are just like, I got bit by a velvet ant. And it's like, yeah, it hurts a lot. They're a wasp. Listen, getting stung by velvet ants, it hurts a lot, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're not screaming about it. Calm down. So I really hate that kind of content, and I like that Clint throws some shade their way. I think that that's good. Thank you, Clint. Oh, yeah. There are natural redheads in my family. So you probably have the gene that makes you feel less pain? I didn't think that was a thing. I thought that it was that you were less susceptible to things that make you feel less pain. Like certain kinds of pain relievers don't work on you. If you have red hair, there's an important thing to know. If you have red hair and you are like getting your wisdom teeth out or something and it's hurting a lot, then you should know that it might be because the painkillers don't work on you. Oh, anesthetic resistance is part of it too. That's so interesting. Well, yeah, no, I don't know. I have kind of a confusing pain tolerance. It's hard to say. Where like sometimes something affects me and it seems like it affects me way more than it affects other people, and sometimes vice versa. So I'm never really sure. No wonder painkillers never work for you. Yeah, it's really important to know. UK solos, I wish that more people knew this. It's like a huge deal. Like, oh my God, I will just never forget my sister just absolutely crying through her entire wisdom teeth thing. And just like afterwards, like she was just not herself for a while. Like just the amount of pain that she had been in because the painkillers didn't work on her. And she just like, she didn't want to bother them and she didn't want to ask for more. And she just like sat through it. And afterwards, like it was literally days where she was just like not okay. Anyway, so that's my poor sweet sister. I never really recovered from that. Oh my God. So it's really important to know that if you have red hair or someone in your family has red hair, you could know. You could know. No redheads in your family, but high tolerance is high in your family. Pain tolerance is high in your family, and painkillers, yeah, don't work unless it's 3 to 4 times the dose. So painkillers can work for me. I don't know if they're less effective or not. Like it's really hard to tell if they're just like slightly less effective or whatever. But yeah, for my sister, they just don't work at all. Like, oh my God, she was just going through her entire wisdom teeth removal with basically nothing. Like absolutely awful to think about. Poor girl. But anyway, it just feels pretty uneven. Okay, y'all want to hear a really cringe Ellie story? So one time I was walking through the city and I was wearing like a cute outfit that I had borrowed from a friend, and I was wearing a new pair of shoes, and I was like, wow, I'm looking so cool right now. And people kept looking at me and like looking down to my feet and looking back up, and I was like, wow, like people are looking at me. That I'm not used to that. Like, oh my God, I must be really pretty right now. And then I met up with my friend and she looked at me and she was like, oh my God, your feet are bleeding like a lot. And it was because like the new shoes, like there was just like blood on my shoes and I just hadn't even noticed. Like my feet were bleeding that much, and that was why people had been looking down to my feet and back up at me. Alas. But like I hadn't even noticed. I'd been like, yeah, these hurt, but they're not like awful, right? So like in that case, for example, I would think that it was like, less. But they didn't ask if I was okay. No, it's New York City. No one asks you if you're okay. You're the most okay person they've seen that day. No one is okay. Yeah, and I did pierce my own ear. So like, there are things like that where I feel like I must have a higher pain tolerance. But then there are also a lot of situations where like, I guess it's not strictly pain, but for example, like if I'm cold and wet, like if I have to walk through the rain, like I cannot hide the misery on my face. Like it makes me so miserable that I will actually cry. Like I will just be walking in the rain if it's raining heavily and it's cold, and I will just be crying the whole time. And so I never really know how to quantify that, you know? Pain is mostly okay a lot of the time, but then there are other sensations that just break me in half. Certain sounds too. It's not pain, but it might as well be. It's extremely aversive, as pain is, you know? It has that same thing with pain as like, oh my god, anything to make this stop, right? So I don't know how to explain it except as pain, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Every person's experience of everything is different. Emotional distress? I guess, yeah. But it's a very physical kind of distress, you know? It's not like, oh, this rain is making me sad. It's like, this rain is like, I don't know how to explain it except hurting? Irritating doesn't sound serious enough. Like, this rain is awful. Like, it just like feels so awful. So it's really hard to say. I'm never really sure. Yeah, scratching on a chalkboard is bad for everybody. Nobody likes that. Mine are really like, oh god, I don't even want to demonstrate. But when someone like clicks their nails, it's really awful for me. I don't even know how else to explain it. But when someone is like, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I hate that sound. There are certain other sounds I hate, like when someone like, I hate when someone does that. It's so awful. It's so terrible. Yeah, shower is okay because shower is hot. And also shower, I'm like not wearing clothes. So part of what I hate with the rain is that like my clothes get wet and heavy and like cold against me, and they like stick to my skin, and I can feel them sliding wet and cold against my skin, and it's so awful. Yeah, it's so awful. Whereas like if I'm, you know, not wearing clothes, like as you do in the shower traditionally, then it's not as bad. It doesn't really bother me. I don't know. But even so, I probably wouldn't enjoy a cold shower. I enjoy a warm shower, but like, you know, that's normal, right? Oh, wet wood is no good. Wet wood is no good. Yeah, there are a lot of sensations that are very bad. Wet wood is terrible. What I hate even more than wet wood is when my hands are wet and the wood is dry and the wood just like drinks the wet off my hands, and it's such a bad feeling. Ew. Oh god, you almost cried on a wet leaf stuck to you while gardening? Relatable. Yeah, most mods don't enjoy cold showers. I'll short circuit. But yeah, sensory overload. It feels like pain. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, people talk about it in a number of ways, and I do think that's valid and normal and all. But yeah, at least for me, I can't really describe it in any way other than pain. For me, it just feels kind of indistinguishable from pain. Like, I can't really tell the difference, honestly.